This podcast was recorded on the land of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation.
Guys, Locke doesn't know who Timberland is. Yeah.
Wait,
just sorry. That's how we're opening the pod. No. I just needed to say that. On the way here, we're listening to Nelly Furtado and obviously Timberland, who's produced like every good song ever. And Locke goes, "Who's Timberland?" And I'm like, what did you listen to when you were younger? Like, literally, what did you listen to?
Yeah, but I just don't know who it is. I've probably listened to the song. Don't get me in trouble.
How do you not know who he is?
I know Timberlake.
He's the guy that on every track goes, "Hey, hey,
Wait, and I should know that.
hey."
What? I was busy learning actual things when I was a kid, not who Timberland was. Who cares?
Welcome back to the pod.
Yeah, that was a great start, guys. Welcome back. Another week of Mad About You. Wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing, we appreciate having you with us. It means a lot. Now, this week on the pod, we are doing a little deep dive into best friendships, but more specifically, when they fail and why they do.
Bestie breakups, guys.
Yeah, so essentially you guys have given us front row seats to your bestie breakups. So stick around for some wild tales, and then I would say maybe some, I didn't think really needed to end so suddenly, but perhaps you guys will.
Oh, sensing a bit of judgment from you, Lachie.
Well, no, just like some are, wild, and then some are like, you probably could still be friends. But at the end of the episode, our Ask Mum and Dad comes from a woman wondering if it's wrong to still want a relationship with her ex's sibling.
Yep.
But just wait, man. But before we get stuck in to your heart-wrenching bestie breakups, Jad wanted to, I don't know why, but for some reason talk about her armpits for a bit.
Okay, that's a bad opening. Okay, guys, so I posted a video on TikTok not long ago, basically about this really weird and random pregnancy symptom that I have that I haven't heard anyone else get, which is basically my armpits are now covered in like little freckles or moles. I actually don't know what they are. But
you actually said to me in bed the other night, you made me touch them and said they're quite meaty.
No, there's a bit of, just a little bit. I feel like that's a bad visual picture.
No, I'm just saying a freckle isn't like meaty, but a mole is meaty.
They're not proper skin tags, like the dangly ones. But I think they might be more moles than freckles because some of them look slightly raised. Anyway, it's a really weird thing. I've never had any under my arms in my whole life, not even one. Didn't happen with my first pregnancy. Second pregnancy, covered. There's heaps. It's everywhere. It's so weird. And just my armpits. It's localized to only my armpits.
It is odd.
And it's just this really odd thing that I felt the need to share online because I was like, pregnancy is so random. Like the symptoms are literally, if you Google pregnancy symptoms, it's just anything. Like any possible thing you can think of. And to the point
easily
where...
annoyed.
Irritability is a common one, but especially if you live with Locke. So basically I put this video up and it just received an influx of comments where people were sharing the weirdest pregnancy symptoms, things that you would have no idea were possible. And I needed to read a few of them out because like I was shocked. My jaw was literally on the floor. Some of them are hilarious. Some of them are just weird. Okay, so this one says...
Don't judge.
What?
Don't judge.
That's what we're here to do. This one says, I've started sleep spitting. No, not drooling. Literally spitting in my sleep. I'll spit on myself or my husband and it'll wake me up.
What?
Imagine if you woke up.
How does she know that's pregnancy related?
On you. Well, you're pregnant and then it starts. Oh. But apparently that's common, an overproduction of saliva. So a bunch of people said they're overproducing saliva.
Oh, so people like confirm this is legit.
Yeah, this is like a thing.
So are you saying that like the day she pops out the bub, she'll just stop doing it?
Literally, some of the comments have said I had this day I gave birth, it went away.
Weird.
Yeah, really weird. This next one said I had a blocked nose for my entire pregnancy that went away the day after I gave birth.
I could be pregnant then. I've had a blocked nose for about 10 years.
You could be. This one was one of the most shocking to me. My client went completely deaf. During her first pregnancy, a bone started to grow through her eardrum and she became hard of hearing. They warned her with the second she may lose all hearing. She went for it anyway and is completely deaf now.
Wait, so this wasn't a pregnancy, as in...
No, this is because of her pregnancy. Like she went deaf. After her second pregnancy,
Whoa.
the
Talk
bone.
about a
So it
sacrifice.
went through both eardrums apparently. Like someone commented and said, "Is she deaf in both ears?" And the person said yes.
Oh, man.
And apparently it's called chromadrosis. It happens more often during pregnancy but can occur to anyone. Isn't that terrifying?
What, can you get it removed?
No.
Like, surely you could have a surgery to remove the bone that
Well, once
was
your
blocked.
eardrum's pierced, I think that's it, doll.
Oh, why am I a doll? Why do you need to say that?
Okay, so when I say doll, I just need
It's
to
so
chuck it in every now and then. It's not.
It's like me going, yeah, all right, champ. It is.
Okay. Maybe it was.
That's so
Contextually,
weird. So she's
that's
just
aggressive.
deaf and now there's
Deaf
no
with
coming
two
back
kids.
from it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy, hey?
I guess she'd sleep through the night. She wouldn't hear him crying.
This one said mine was skin tags, like everywhere. Someone else said I grew like 10 skin tags around my neck area. So skin tags are obviously very common. This person said I developed carpal tunnel, so painful, immediately gone the day after I gave birth.
What's carpal tunnel again?
I think it's like, is it got to do with your bones? Like, I know that it can curl your hands in, but I'm not sure what it exactly is.
So you're telling me about this crazy thing, but you don't know what it is.
Well, I know that it's crazy. Hang on,
Yeah.
let's cheeky Google.
Sorry, guys. Excuse my ignorance here.
Carpal tunnel. Oh, it's nerve. A numbness and tingling in the hand and arm caused by a pinched nerve in the wrist.
Okay. And that just went away when
Yep.
she gave birth.
Yep.
What?
Mine was farting uncontrollably. I feel like Kate's just... Come on, Kate. What are you eating?
Wait, are you out? Don't out her.
Oh, it's a public comment. It's on my video.
Fair.
Yeah, so lots of farts. My mum's facial freckles found their way together and formed one huge
Wait.
freckle in the middle of her face during pregnancy.
Can I just check? Did the farting stop after she gave birth?
She hasn't confirmed.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, because yours hasn't.
All right, sweetheart, do we need to go there? Because your methane was so bad, it was half of my wedding speech.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that you're talking about pregnancy symptoms, and I'm saying you've sort of just had that
you
the
might
whole
be
8
pregnant.
years.
You've got a blocked nose. You fart all the time. You're really annoying.
Yeah.
You eat weird food.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Locke's dinner most nights is just protein with nothing else.
Well, next
Like,
time you
just a
go for an
bowl of
ultrasound,
meat.
tell them to chuck a bit of jelly on my tummy and have a geese.
Yeah, I might need to. This one says, I was allergic to my first pregnancy. Broke out in a rash last trimester and it disappeared as soon as he was out of me. How are you allergic to your own developmental fetus?
That was a sentence.
I-
Yeah, I mean, who knows what it was? Did she give you
She
any
said
more? Just
pregnancy.
said, I got a rash.
Also, your
Yeah,
feet
but
grow?
I know a friend of mine who just got a rash when she put on a necklace, you know, that she bought a fresh necklace overseas. So like it could have been that. She might have in her third trimester put on a
a new
necklace, got
necklace.
a rash,
She thought she
and
was
then
allergic
thought it was
to being
the
pregnant.
fetus. Yeah.
Maybe she went to the doctor and they confirmed you're allergic to pregnancy.
Yeah, but she could have still been wearing the necklace at the
So
doctor,
true.
not known.
This person said, my feet grew a size.
No.
Yep, that happens.
I don't believe
a lot
this.
of people said that actually. A few people said their feet grew. I lost feeling in my left thigh on week 16. Week 22, still numb. Maybe till the end, but apparently it's normal.
These are so strange.
Yep. And that's all I screenshotted because I was like, really, I could just keep going.
Yeah. Wow. That's weird. I didn't know those things. I thought your freckles are weird, but there's some. I'd count your blessings with the freckles.
I know.
If people are losing hearing and
Right?
stuff, and
Isn't that insane?
pinched nerves and losing feeling.
That, like I said, pregnancy symptoms are just literally anything you can think of.
Yeah, that's.
Like any possible change
Yeah, that's
to your
funky.
body, any medical condition, anything.
You could hope for a cool one. Does anyone have like good ones?
What would that be to you?
Well, like, she lost her hearing, but someone might go, oh, I've got super hearing.
Oh, you get heightened sense of smell, but I'm not sure that that's a good thing.
Why not?
Sometimes you don't need to smell things more.
Yeah.
Like, smells can be bad.
Yeah, that's true.
And that intensified really pisses you off when you're pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. You are easily pissed off. So let's just keep it where it is.
Anyway, guys, just wanted to share that with you because crazy. Who knew?
Yeah. Jad's got freckly pits. All right, guys. Let's get into some of your bestie breakups. Now,
Breasty.
I didn't even say that.
You said breasty.
No, I said bestie breakups.
Boobs are already broken up.
breasty.
There's
Okay.
this.
All right. Now, I don't know. I think that before we always spill the tea on your stories, I think it's only fair that Jad and I sort of, divulge perhaps or get amongst it ourselves and share,
I've got
a
too
little
many.
bit
It's a whole episode.
of bestie breakups.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you go first then.
No, I don't need to. You go first. I want to hear yours.
I've got so many.
I want
Alright,
to know
you
what
go-
level
no.
you come with, and then I might match you because I don't want to go too high or too low.
Okay. I think I've probably had like maybe 2 or 3 friends which I've sacked off over the course of my
That's
life.
it.
But yeah, probably, yeah. Like
What?
on purpose sacked off. Not
okay.
like friendships that have drifted and
You've
no
sacked
longer
off,
been.
or either one of you has sacked off.
I would say I'd sacked off.
True.
So I would say probably one that, I don't know, I would say like maybe not affected me the most, but one that probably means the most was growing up. It was essentially, I had a group of like 4 friends and we all, started playing like soccer together in the under 5s, and families were friends, lived 100 meters from each other, everyone. It was really nice. We'd cruise the streets in the afternoon, kick balls, in the park, climb trees. Like it was really nice. We grew up together. And by the time we hit about 18, or probably started a little bit earlier, there was one guy in our group he just started making some funky decisions with things that he was doing. And the other sort of 3 of us were not really about that. And by funky decisions, I mean, he started drinking like really heavily quite early, like when he was about 15, 16, started experimenting with drugs at that age. But then also started doing like, got into stealing, crashed his car, drink driving, got in a fight with a guy and, and stabbed him with a bottle, like got done with grievous bodily harm. Like he just started doing all these, and
He became a crim.
he just took a wrong path,
That's
like
giving
started
criminal.
hanging out with some funky people outside of us and, just a misguided, little bit lost, guy.
Why didn't you
And-
redirect him?
Oh, we tried.
Sure.
And, we tried to still hang out with him and be there for him and be that like safe space of, I don't know,
Sure.
normality. But
Yeah.
I guess it got to a point whereby he'd started doing, some of those more serious things, which I mentioned, where it's literally, getting done for assault and drink driving, crashing cars into buildings and stuff. And, literally very serious stuff to the point where the other 3 of us were almost like, if we keep hanging out with this guy, one day we might be pulled into sort of this whirlwind of drama and essentially, it affects, our futures in some way. So we kind of all took a little step back and he kept going down that sort of dark path for a little while. And now, that was at 18 and I'm 32. I haven't spoken to him. And that was 14 years now.
It's very responsible of the 3 of you.
And now, essentially, but I do think about him a lot. Like I hope that he's on the straight and narrow now and he's doing well. And because he was a really close friend of mine. Like I spent, countless, holidays with him, sleepovers, like our families of friends, dinners, everything, he was a big part of my childhood. And then at 18, we just sort of said, fuck, it's not worth the risk of, being involved in this stuff. And we cut him and, good thing we did because it's not like that next day he was just a, goody two shoes all of a sudden. That he got in plenty more trouble. But, now I'm just, I don't know. But I hope that he's doing well. And it's a weird one because I've actually bumped into his parents a few times since, and they've sort of brushed me and been a little bit darker with me.
That's interesting.
Because obviously our friendship, stopped. And but I
why
think
why would his parents?
I think that I think they're just love blind by their kid, and think that he can do no wrong, and thought that, us 3 friends sort of brushed him and left him.
Okay.
Which, we did, but for good reason, I would say.
And I'm sure he didn't say that to his parents. Hey, I've done A, B, C, and D, so my mates aren't talking to me anymore.
Exactly.
It's just like, they just don't want to borrow me or whatever.
Yeah, and I don't regret doing what we did because
Sure.
I think it was still the right thing to do. But that being said, I think about him a bit and I hope he's doing well. But it was a bit of a weird one. Yeah. So our 4 became 3 and we're still the other 2 dudes still best mates, stood next to us at my wedding and, we're over at our house on the weekend and stuff like still.
Yeah.
So it's weird to think that perhaps he would have still been there in that position in our lives if not for kind
That's
of
disappointing.
certain decisions. Yeah, it's a weird one.
I think you made the right choice, though.
Thanks, honey.
It's easy to be influenced by your mates, I think. Well, where do I begin?
Which one of yours matches that?
None really. Mine were all pretty toxic.
Oh. Like
I did
toxic,
this thing.
or?
I did this thing growing up where I get really close to someone really, really quickly because we'd like get along really well. So I'd get really excited that we had so much in common and that we'd laugh so much together and have so much fun that I think I forgot to kind of assess whether or not they were a good friend or a good friend to me, or whether our like morals and values were even aligned. So I'd get really, really close to people really quickly. And when you do that, you obviously open yourself up for like more hurt, and it creates this weird dynamic where it's like, I don't know, sometimes the friendships felt like weirdly competitive, or
In what sense? Competitive with what?
I don't know.
Like how you looked, the boys you dated, the careers you had? Like
yeah,
what,
I don't know, like
one-upping,
trying to one-up one another sort of, or like maybe, fighting for the same guy. And there were like a lot of situations like that where things just ended up collapsing in like a really unhealthy way. But mainly because I was just really trusting of people and let them in really quickly. I think the way that I connect with people is through like vulnerability, which is a blessing and a curse because it means that I do get to connect with people on a deeper level, but it means that sometimes I open myself up for more hurt. I had this one friend who we were really close for a long time. We'd have a lot of fun together, but the thing that we did the most together was go out, basically, like go out on the weekend. This was like in my clubbing era, basically.
Clubbing era.
Well, yeah, I was out a lot. Like I was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday girl, like all of the days,
Sick.
I was just out. It was almost like a job. So I was out all the time, and he would be the person that I'd go out with, and he had all these, like clubbing connections. So he knew all the managers everywhere, and he'd always get us all the free drinks, and he was, just like my partner in crime, basically. And he had kind of like, he almost grew like a posse of girls who would like, go with him to all these glamorous things. And when you're young and impressionable, like that's really exciting. So I was, and I thought that I was, I was being invited backstage to this and that with whoever, and I was invited to all these things and on boats with people, and who had names, and it made me feel special at the time, obviously. But this friendship just became quite toxic because he started trying to invite me to things that were almost a bit like, it felt a bit usy. It felt like it went from us being friends and spending time together and having fun to, I need a girl on my arm to be here at this thing. And he started hanging out with people who were like significantly older and had a lot of money and maybe had expectations of what the girls were going to do who he was bringing to these events. So it got to a point where I was like, I don't want to do that. Like that's not what I'm about. I like going out and having fun with people my age, and going to cool parties, but it just got a bit like yucky vibes. And he started spending time with people who were happy to do certain things that I wasn't happy to do. And it felt very much like he expected me to be a part of things that I didn't want to be a part of. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And it's like he started resenting me for saying no to things that he wanted me to go to the point where it got really toxic, and we kind of stopped talking, and then he started like bullying me online. And he would like walk past my place of work, which was at the time Froyo, and like laugh at me with his friends while I was working behind the counter, like trying to serve Froyo to little kids, make a bit of money. But yeah, it did get a bit nasty, unfortunately. So, and yeah, purely because I just didn't feel comfortable doing things that he wanted me to do, really. That was the only reason why we started drifting. But yeah, we were kind of in each other's pockets, and then it turned into this thing where it just was a bit yucky and uncomfortable, and now we're not friends anymore.
Very not pleasant. Sounds like he was trying to be a pimp.
Well, it kind of started getting those vibes, except maybe not directly getting cash in pocket, but getting things in return, or like experiences. You know what I mean?
Yeah, weird.
It was, honestly, it had that energy. Yeah.
I like how you said you're invited to places and, yachts with, big names, and I assume you mean like celebrities or that, and then you went to work at Froyo. That would have been cool.
Yeah, it was.
Like Saturday yacht with Steve Aoki, and then Sunday.
No, it was humbling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would have been awesome. And then Sunday, shit, I got to go to
there's
Froyo.
always been an element of balance in my life.
Cool.
I think that's what's kept me pretty grounded, which is good. But yeah, no, I was living the champagne lifestyle on a beer budget, that's for sure.
And a shit beer. Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant. So I'm glad you sacked him off because
Absolutely.
I definitely wouldn't have invited him into my life very willingly.
I don't think you
knowing
would have
that-
liked him very much.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like my cup of tea. All right, guys. Now that we've spilled a little tea of our own, let's get stuck into yours. First story says, my bestie and I broke up 3 months after my wedding, where she was a bridesmaid, because we did a Pilates class together, and I didn't realize at the time my partner had COVID. I told her after the fact, and according to her, this was a sackable offence. I was also 4 months pregnant at the time.
What?
I think
She
I
went
actually,
to Pilates with a friend, and because her husband had COVID, her friend didn't want to talk to her anymore.
it was a weird time, COVID. I
That's weird.
I got a lot of messages from people that said similar things, not like, exactly like this, but a lot of people said that they lost friendships because of the vaccination, either not getting it or getting it, like arguing about the
Wow.
vaccination. And I thought
Yeah.
that was such a shame
It's so
because
sad.
I remember the hysteria around that time, and we
Yeah,
were
it
told a lot of
was.
things, and maybe a few of those things weren't true, and that if we got vaccinated we couldn't spread it, you couldn't catch it, you couldn't give it to people, and then all those things were kind of found out to be false. And so people who made that decision were kind of outcast, and you lost jobs, and it's not
Oh,
nice
yeah.
to see that people lost friendships, and now
It's really sad.
you kind of find out if you're a young healthy person, you probably might
That's
not have
also a
needed
bit
as much
crap.
as an
like,
old unhealthy
she said
person.
she didn't know her husband had it.
Like,
Like, what?
But that's what I'm saying. It was such a crazy time.
Yeah.
And people were under such hysteria that, people lost
People literally
friendships
just lost the plot.
over mistakes and accidents, and
That's unfortunate.
it is a
I think
shame.
at that stage, probably good riddance. Like, sorry.
What, to the person that?
The person who
Sacked
sacked
you
her
off.
off, sacked her pregnant friend off.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's weird.
it is weird, and it's not nice, and it's not a nice time in your life to lose your best mate when
No,
you're
of
pregnant,
course
and
not.
I'm
That's really
assuming you've
sad.
just got married or something. But yeah, it's.
I feel like people who are doing things like that, the friendship was going to end at some point anyway, and that was just the catalyst.
Yeah, I just think it's that one I read and I was like, oh, it's such a shame that this weird moment in time, which was COVID for a few years. Like, I'm sure this happened heaps. Like, I would say I reckon 5 or 6 stories were vaccination COVID related, and so I can't imagine how many times that
yeah.
actually happened if that's just a
Yeah.
couple of people reaching out.
It
when
did divide people, didn't it?
Yeah, hugely. And so and I'm sure it broke up families as well. Like
Yeah.
if it's going to break up friendships, I'm sure it had that same effect with families. So not a nice one to start on. But Jad, what do you got for us?
All right, this one says, after leaving a difficult long-term relationship, I started seeing my now husband when I reconnected with an old friend I'd previously distanced myself from due to her toxic behaviour. She seemed to be in a better place and asked to come over for dinner and meet my partner. I agreed, but made it clear it wouldn't be a big night since I had work early. She showed up with overnight bags and 3 bottles of wine, which she drank entirely herself. What? She got drunk, became inappropriate with my partner, and later walked around in just a crop top and G-string before climbing into our bed and getting handsy with him. What is happening? My partner froze in shock and I lost it, dragged her out, warned her to stay put, then ultimately drove her home in her car myself while my partner followed in our car. She had no memory of it the next day and thought she'd driven herself. Months later, I heard she'd done something similar to someone else, so I cut ties. 2 years on, she randomly saw me 8 months pregnant and was stunned she hadn't been told.
I love how she goes, I
What?
heard she did it again months later, so I cut ties. Why didn't you cut ties when she did it to you?
Time.
Yeah.
What?
It took her doing it to someone else's husband for you to be like, all right, that's the line.
This
I'm not here
is
for it.
nuts. The 3 bottles of wine took me out. Sorry, that was enough. Like,
it took her out
how
as
do you
well.
drink 3 bottles of wine and survive? That's like hospitalization, surely. How often are you doing that to have that tolerance? The underwear was another level, but then climbing into bed with the 2 of them
Yeah.
and getting handsy.
It sounds
Not even
like,
going to sleep.
It sounds like some. Wait, so if she snuck
Well,
into
like she's wearing her underwear, she's going to bed, she's carked it maybe. She's like, I'm kind of imagining it's like, when drunk adults turn into little kids and they just kind of pass out somewhere. I'm imagining that. But no, she starts getting handsy with her
Okay,
husband.
so I'll just give you a
Is she in
hypothetical,
the middle?
and
Why
we'll
was she
see.
lying in the
We'll
middle?
see how it goes. All right, so one of your friends comes over,
Yeah.
haven't seen in a while. They have a few bowls of wine at dinner with us, and then they're walking around the house in a G-banger, and you and I are in bed, and they slip in and just go to sleep. Is that okay with you?
No, I'm just saying the way it eventuated was wild.
Yeah, but you're saying that the issue was that she got handsy if she fell
No, I'm
asleep
not
in the
saying
bed.
that. I'm saying there's a plethora of issues in this story.
Oh, definitely.
That's just the final straw, really.
So if she was wearing pants, it would have been okay?
There's so many things I would have done to then prevent that situation. Like, babe, here's the couch. Go to sleep if you need to.
Yeah.
Here's some fucking pants.
I think
Sorry,
she was
pardon my French.
she was given her own room and bed. I think she just was like she walked into their room and maybe she has a thing, you know, like maybe it's her thing to get between couples.
I think her
and
thing
have a
is
fling,
she needs
you know?
therapy. That's what it sounds like to me.
It does sound like she needs some assistance.
And she thought
but
she drove home. What, in that state? How often she's driving in that state? That's what I want to know.
she didn't drive home.
Yeah, but she thinks she did.
Yeah, because I that's what I don't understand, right?
How
I've
often are you drink driving?
I've actually never. This is a bit of a confession. I have never
Confession.
been blackout drunk, where to the point where I've forgotten what's happened.
You're not
the night
missing
before.
much, can I tell you?
No, but I'm saying, like, I don't know that feeling.
Yeah.
So I find that really strange. And the only time I've ever experienced that feeling is with operations where you go under anesthesia
sure.
and then you wake up and I'm just like, this is the weirdest feeling. And I can't imagine
There's usually-
experiencing that like every weekend when you go out drinking and
I don't
stuff.
think I've ever like not remembered the one time I couldn't remember like a night, I was literally like, I'm pretty sure roofied. Which was a very different experience to me being very drunk, which I have been in the past, and having gaps in my memory. That's kind of what it's normally like.
Sure.
There's gaps.
That's still strange.
Which is
to
very
me.
similar to like how labour is, if I'm being honest. But the only time that I couldn't remember like hours on end was when I'm pretty sure it's the only thing that really makes sense because I hadn't had that much to drink and I know my limits. Someone had slipped something into my drink and I couldn't remember from whatever PM onwards to the point where there's videos of me like dancing and I'm just like I don't even remember that period of the entire evening at all, let alone getting in a car and getting home and yada yada. Like don't remember anything.
That really irks me.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's absolutely terrifying. And I would never willingly put myself in that position. Like I said, the only experiences I've had really are when I've had kind of gaps, and it's very rare that occurs or had occurred.
But don't you think it's strange that some people don't give two shits about that?
Yeah,
like
no,
as
it's
in
terrifying.
I
It's
find even
genuinely
the
scary.
thought of that really strange.
Yeah.
And it's eerie. But to think that people go out every
But
weekend
the
and
people
don't
who are
really
doing
care.
that, they're not like, chill, happy-go-lucky people with everything sorted in life, like feeling really confident and, sure of themselves. Like they're generally like something's going on and they're trying to forget things regularly. You know what I mean? That's how I take
They
that.
want the gaps.
Yeah, she's probably, it sounds like very, self-destructive behaviour. So, and especially if she's done it twice,
That we
3
know
bottles of wine was a bit of a red flag for me from the start.
Yeah, if she's not sharing. That is.
I
that is
I
a
actually
drama.
don't understand how you can physically have that much
Yeah,
wine.
that's over 2 liters of wine.
That's a
crazy.
lot of wine.
Yeah.
That's a lot of wine.
But that being said, I know people that drink 20 beers, and I think to myself, how have you like they're 375
Beer
mils?
is so
that's like
filling. Where is it going?
7.5 liters of liquid.
It's so bloated.
You drank 20 beers in like 5 hours. How'd you do that?
Yeah.
I would have one beer and feel heinous because it just like bloats me. How do you got
I don't
20
know.
times that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mental.
It
All right,
takes a bit of hard work.
Let's get off.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
We got a bit stuck there, didn't
Getting
we?
over people for drinking. Sorry, guys. Just drink whatever you want, whenever you want. All right, next story says, my best friend of almost 20 years was a very, very jealous person. Every boyfriend I had, she would get upset if I spent a lot of time with them, or even get upset if I was with other friends and didn't invite her. I put up with this for years, but drew the line when my father passed away 6 years ago, and the day after the funeral, she messaged me saying she was disappointed in me for not paying her enough attention at his funeral.
Bro.
I had steam coming out my ears and couldn't believe the audacity. That was very much the end of our friendship for me. I sent her a message outlining how wrong it was for her to make the day about her, and said I do not want to be her friend anymore. Ending the friendship felt like a big weight off my shoulders.
Good for you. That's cooked.
Bro, you got to be not all there in the head if you even think that is like marginally appropriate. Like if you're writing the message and you're like, I think it's been long enough since the funeral. Like I can write this. Like
That
you're
is
not.
so twisted.
Yeah, you're not all there.
Also, sorry for your loss. That is so messed up. That is so beyond messed up that someone thought that was a good idea
Yeah.
and thought it was they were within their right to send that message.
Yeah, but 20 years.
Yeah. That's insane.
Like that is a long.
I can't even
long
imagine the
time.
relief you would have felt when you realised that person was no longer burdening you.
Yeah, but most friends come with the good as well, like
Yeah,
they
but
have,
when the bad outweighs the good, it is a relief. You feel like, oh, I should have done this a while ago.
Sure.
Like it was not worth the good bits.
yeah, but like my story at the beginning with my friend, I still think about him and
Yeah.
miss the good stuff.
Yeah,
and
of
like, you know,
course.
I have fond memories of growing up together and all the, like, before things turn sour. So like,
course.
she has 20 years of that as
Yeah,
well, of probably
that's really-
fond memories and stuff. So yeah, sounds like a difficult breakup. But yeah, I wouldn't have even sent her a message saying it was inappropriate.
Yeah, Locke
If you
wouldn't have
don't-
replied.
If you don't know that
That's
that's
it.
inappropriate, you need a lot more help than, you know, a message from you. So yeah, sorry about your loss, but I don't know. It seems like the second loss was probably a good thing for you.
100%. The next one says, my bestie and I broke up because my boss chose me for a promotion over her. This was only a couple of months before my wedding. She'd been involved in all the planning, dress shopping, hens party, etc. Then the day after I got my promotion, she sent me a message about how she had a family dinner the night of my wedding and therefore couldn't attend. Haven't spoken to her since. It's been over 3 years now. I still sometimes wish I'd called her out for the half-assed excuse to not come to the wedding.
That's legit.
that's-
You do have to have dinner.
That's nuts. These are nuts.
Is that
Over a promotion.
what I don't...
That's so sad.
Is that a friend though?
No, that's not a
That's
friend.
not even a friend in
No,
the start.
no,
So
not
I
even.
feel like you're like,
You might have stuff in common and no.
yeah, like a bestie. Like I got best mates. When I give them good news, like what a best friend should do is celebrate with you and be stoked for you and not try and one up you or, you know, share something that they did better. Like that's what a friend should do. So
I imagine it would be a difficult position if you're both up for the promotion and you both want it and one of you doesn't get it. I can see how that could be difficult to kind of digest, especially if it means that your friend is now going to be your superior potentially. Like that is a little bit tricky, but not to the point of if you're really good friends not being friends anymore and not going to their wedding. Like
yeah,
how
I don't
salty are you?
I don't disagree. Tough.
That reminds me of like that on a very lesser scale, I won this competition in, you know, it was
Colouring in.
no, it was part of, it was like this, anyway, look, I won a competition, it was career based and someone who I had known and, you know, been relatively good, you know, on good terms with up until that point unfollowed me because of it, because they were up for it too.
Oh.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But way, not even nearly as close, and I still remember it, you know? Like, we were just, like, kind of acquaintances who, like, had chats at work things, and then I found that really strange. I was like, wow, you unfollowed me because I won over you in this thing, you know, that I didn't have a say over. It's, you know, I find that so... That would be really upsetting, like, so close to your wedding, they're helping you plan it all, and then they just cark it because of a family dinner, and it's obvious why they've done it, you know?
Yeah, it sounds quite, I don't know, vindictive and bitter and sour. And yeah, I just think like these people, I don't know, if you have someone who's willing to turn,
Yeah.
where it's not even like something bad's happened. It's like something good's
something's
happened.
good
It just
happened to
hasn't happened to
you.
them. It's happened to
Yeah.
me, and you're willing to throw away everything that we've had because you're a bit, you know, sour. And like that being said, it's not to say you won't get promoted in time. It's just unfortunately going to take a bit longer, you know, like it's a shame. But to me, that's a snake in the grass.
Yeah, I
That's
also
not
think
really
the
a bestie.
attitude outlines why she didn't get the promotion. Well,
Amen. I
amen,
like that.
baby.
Whoa, that was a lot.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was matching your energy.
No, I just said amen. Like I agree.
Yeah, but you went here and then I raised up here.
Yeah, so not matching. You went higher.
But I'm matching you because you've escalated. So I've had to go, you know, pattern.
You had to
when
one
you
up
look
me.
at patterns, the scale goes upwards.
Yeah.
Not up once and then continuing
Depends on the
onwards.
graph, really.
This graph was going up.
Yeah.
And then you shot me down, right?
All right,
when
right.
I got excited.
Okay, next story. All right. Says, broke up with my bestie because we had a fight in Mexico and then she didn't wake me up for our early flight and left me in Mexico alone. What the fuck? That is mad.
Whoa.
That is mad.
Whoa.
All right, you're
Whoa.
traveling Mexico together. You're obviously best buds. Like you've booked this trip. I think Mexico is quite a messy place. So like you obviously like to party. You've had big nights. You've had a battle. She's just packed up her shit and left.
Nah,
that
that's-
is insane.
that's
I'd be the
effed
same. If someone did that to me, I wouldn't even message them. I would just go, I didn't even want to say the word. And then see you later.
I don't even have words for how there are so many levels to this. Like you've potentially thrown their money down the drain, you know, because they've missed their flight. It's maybe not necessarily safe to leave them alone. You don't know where they are.
I think that's probably the main thing she was getting at.
Yeah.
Like she goes, left me in, and there's caps locks, Mexico alone. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That is truly truly unbelievable. Some people are really unhinged.
I wouldn't feel safe
would-
getting left alone somewhere like that.
I don't
as
think
a
I'd leave my worst enemy
adult
to
male.
deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think if I had a really awful argument with someone. Oh,
Oh, here we go. She's changing her own mind. Actually,
you know what I always go back to? I'm like, if you cheated on me.
wait, it's a friend. It's not me. It's
No,
not
I
a
know, but I'm
partner.
trying to think of the worst possible scenario where I would maybe consider not waking. No, I'd still wake you up. I'd wake you up. I'd say, pack your shit. I'm not sitting next to you. I'm changing my seat. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. But the flight's in, whatever.
But I don't want you to miss the flight because I'm a good person.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Right?
You're the hero of this story.
I feel so sorry for this person.
Yeah, that to me was such a cooked one, and it's such a big story in such a small there's two
yeah,
sentences, and I felt it, and that to me would be really scary, so
Yeah, it
to
is
wake up in a place like that
scary.
by yourself, and
Yeah.
and
also,
I don't.
you don't know where your friend's gone. Like,
I think
maybe you start
probably to
freaking
the
out
flight.
about where they are, and if they're safe, then it's almost like you start you have to check up on them
No,
almost.
I would not be thinking that. I'd be thinking,
I would.
fuck yeah, I hope your taxi crashes on the way to the airport.
No, you're not thinking
I'm
that.
joking.
Yeah, you're not. That's not you.
But yeah, I also think that's got to be a big fight for you to leave your friend in a foreign
Yeah.
country, right?
I wanna
that's
know
not just
why.
like you pissed me
What
off
did you
last
fight
night.
over? Imagine
Yeah.
if it was just they both like the same dude.
Yeah, possible. You said you used to battle with your friend and compete over dudes.
Yeah, but not leaving Mexico compete. Come on.
Leaving what, Double Bay compete?
Yeah.
Classic. Bit safer probably.
Catching a cab home is very different.
Yeah. All right, next story.
All right, the next one says, my bestie was a witness to a crime that was committed against me and didn't want to give evidence. We had been best friends from age 5 until 18. What kind of people are we all friends with or have been? Like, what?
Isn't that like the first thing you would actually want to do as
Yeah.
a friend who
Back up your
witnesses?
mate.
Yeah, it's like, well, I want to see the
Which-
person brought to justice that did something nasty to my friend.
Were they friends with the other person too? But if so, even if so, if
doesn't
someone's
matter.
committed a crime against your mate, surely you're going with the mate who's been crime committed against.
Nice, that was a tongue twister.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think just simply, it's like I don't care how hard it is. Like if you have to lose the other friend, it's like, let's say they were both friends, just hypothetically. Wouldn't you rather lose the
Yes.
one that committed the crime than the one who, is
Correct.
the victim?
Yeah.
And then also, I don't care if it's really hard for you to come forward and give evidence. Like that is a shame and it's not nice. And I'm sure that's a daunting experience for some people, but probably worth not letting your friend be a victim without any justice.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
seems like just, I don't know. It's not even laziness. It's just like, I don't know,
You
disappointing.
know what? You said some of these wouldn't be justified. They're all justified.
Oh,
All the breakups are justified.
yeah.
In fact, intensely so.
Some more so than other. I don't think, huh?
Like what?
Do you think it was justified that she broke up with her because her husband had COVID?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the. Yeah. No, not at all.
All right, awesome. Glad we.
So I was thinking
cleared
of
that
the
up.
perspective of the victim.
Yeah, just like some of them, I'm like, oh, you probably didn't need to lose your friendship over that.
Sure.
You know?
They broke up with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, leaving you in Mexico. Yeah, feel free to suck that mate off. Yeah, not a nice one, but see ya to that person. All right, next story. It says, me and my BFF at the time had been friends for years. We spent most days with each other and we told each other everything. Back when Stereo Sonic was around.
Oh,
I had
stereo.
been-
Let's go.
How many times do you go?
Once.
Oh, it just sounded like you were there every week.
I didn't have money at the time.
Oh, okay. I never went, guys. Well, it didn't look like my cup of tea.
I can't imagine you in those tiny little fluorescent shorts.
Wait, you had to wear that? That was like a
Muzzing.
prereq of...
It was, part of the uniform.
What's mazzing? Why would I be mazzing?
Muzzing.
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 I was going to say, do people masturbate at these
Muzzing,
concerts?
sweetheart. Muzzing.
What is muzzing?
You know, that dance that they all used to do.
No, I don't.
You don't know what muzzing is?
I know that they used to
Did
do
you
the...
grow up in Sydney?
I know they used to do the weird dance. Like when you did the dance, I'm like, oh, I've seen people do
That's called
that.
muzzing.
Oh, I didn't know it was called.
It has a name. It's like gabbering. You know what a gabber is?
Isn't that one the lads do?
Yes. Dun, 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 dun.
You're actually doing nothing but making
I
noises.
thought the noise would bring it back to you.
It didn't. No. Okay, let me get back to
You're
the
making me feel
stereosonic
old.
story.
I'm 3 years younger than you.
All right, it says, I had been asked to go with another group of friends, which I agreed to, knowing that my main group of friends, including my bestie, was going too. After over 15 years of friendship, I found her and the guy I was seeing at the time hooking up in one of the arenas. Me and my friends walked past them and I stood there staring at them for like 3 minutes before I got the confidence to confront them. I walked over and they were both highly intoxicated. I looked at him and shook my head, but I was more heartbroken by her than him because we were so close. I remember clear as day her responding to me by saying, "Not now, I'm too drunk to know what's going on."
Oh, babe.
After a few weeks, I decided she needed to speak up and explain herself. She came over to my house and sat on my bed with me. We cried and talked it out and made up. She assured me, "I don't even know why I did it. He's not my type." After this, things were just
that makes
different
it
between
okay,
us.
doesn't it?
She was distant still, and I was trying harder than I should have been. Turns out they were secretly dating still, and she'd lied to my face. Many years later, they're actually engaged now.
Oh, my God.
Poor things. 15 years.
Oh.
Like,
I mean, at least
I'm happy you're
they're
engaged.
soulmates, I guess.
At least it was worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
But 15-year friendship down the drain to hook up with some dude drunk at Stereosonic.
It's such a weird one because, like,
It worked out. That's the weird bit
that's
of
the
it.
weird part. It's like, oh, okay, maybe they were kind of meant to be, but you've still cheated, and it's your best mate of 15 years.
Yeah.
Like
You've lost your bestie, but you've gained
there's
a
no
hubby.
there's no good way to approach that scenario. If you've genuinely fallen in love with your best mate's guy, right?
Yeah, play us through it. Like, what's the right way?
There is no right way, but surely there's like some sort of like he breaks up with her. Then there's time. There's you're patient. If you think they're the one, you're gonna give it a bit of time, right? We've got the rest of our lives together.
Do you have to ask permission?
Then you let them know, look, I'm really, this is the situation. If you're willing to give up that friendship for that guy, at least do it respectfully. That's my opinion, right? Like
That would be
that's
ideal.
the risk.
Yeah.
You're telling that person that I'm choosing this guy over you, basically, but I'd still like to have you in my life. Here's the most respectful way of doing it. And then you explore things once you've at least respectfully let them know. And then you're probably still not going to be friends. That's just, it's very rare that works out, right?
Yeah.
But to find out like that at Stereosonic, you know,
It's also the lie.
playing in the background.
I think once she caught them cheating together,
yeah.
probably been a fling beforehand, right? Probably wasn't the first time they
that's
hooked
not
up.
the
They're
first
probably
kiss.
used to kissing and hooking up. So when they were drunk, they did what
Especially
they
in
normally
public.
do.
Yeah.
But it's like once you've already gone through that's the hard part essentially, right? Is that your partner finding out that
Yeah.
you're into this other chick. So once you're there, that's the hard bit out of the way. Then just be honest and go like, yeah, we actually really like each other. Like, we're going to start dating.
Yeah.
But she went to her house and lied to her about it.
Yeah.
And then tried to be a friend still and said that she pulled back anyway and wasn't being super friendly. And then the girl who got cheated on said that she was putting in heaps of effort trying to
Yeah.
continue this friendship that obviously the other girl knew was never going to go anywhere because she was actually dating this dude. So, yeah, I feel like it's just like it's a shady thing's happened, and then you've done an even shadier thing by continuing to lie and be a little snake in the grass again. But
So sad.
Yeah,
15
I don't-
years of friendship,
I think
and then
that-
that's how it ends.
I actually like play scenarios out like that in my head, and I think no, like just to put myself in these people's shoes. Like I always think to myself, if one of my best mates, like I caught them hooking up with you, and I was like, I lost my partner and my best friend. I'm like, that would be devastating.
Yeah, it would
like
be. It's
I can't even imagine that.
heartbreaking.
Losing you would be hard. Losing them alone would be hard, but losing together and then knowing it's not like you've lost them to they've gone and lived overseas and they've lost your number and they don't want to talk to you. It's like they're going to be together having the thing that you used to have with both of
No,
yeah, it's just
so yucky.
it's such a horrible thing to
It's the
consider.
betrayal.
So
It's just terrible. Sorry to hear.
yeah, I feel for you, but
Sucks that it worked
at least they
out.
didn't waste it, and they
No,
just
but
hooked
you
up for a few weeks and
you
then
kind of-
sacked each other off.
It would
so.
kind of be. It would haunt you a little bit that they ended up together. I reckon.
Oh, it would. It would be
Like, it
definitely
would be
a tricky
like,
one
oh, okay, well,
to get over.
They're
That's
happy.
for sure.
I hope you're happy. I hope you're dating someone good now,
Yeah, same.
and I hope you have better friends.
Yeah, same.
All right. This last one says, my best friend of 13 years asked to borrow some money from me when she was in a tight spot. Not a huge amount, but enough to matter. She promised to pay it back ASAP. Over a year passed and I hadn't heard a thing, not even a mention of it, a sorry it's taking a while, etc. Every time I brought it up, she would get defensive. Eventually, it wasn't about the money anymore. It was simply about the principle of not once bringing it up or letting me know what was happening with the money. We haven't spoken since and I haven't seen the money either. Oh, God.
Bro, people are so weird with that stuff.
Best friend of 13 years. You
It's
have
like
the nerve to ask for money and then get defensive when someone asks where it is.
Yeah. I mean, not a huge amount. Let's just make an example. Not a huge amount, but enough to matter.
Enough to matter is enough to matter.
$2,000, a few grand, maybe.
Whatever it is, it's enough to matter.
Yeah, like you definitely want to see that
want
back.
it back, yeah.
Especially it's a friend of 13 years. Like I wouldn't.
I
It's
think
a
most
strange
people
one, right?
would want I think the general population would want, $20-$50 back even. It's like
No, come on, man.
it's just respect, right? It's like if someone's asked to borrow money, not I'm shouting you dinner. This is out of the own,
Sure.
will of, free will and kindness of my heart for whatever.
Goodwill, yeah.
Like, what did you say?
Goodwill. Out of the goodwill of my
Goodwill.
heart, not
No,
free
I
will.
meant free will. Like it's your choice.
I mean, free will makes sense.
It
but
does make
everything's
sense.
free
Thank
will.
you so much for telling me that.
Sure.
Now I've lost my train of thought. You've ruined
No,
everything.
let's get back to it. It was brilliant.
Anyway, I think it's different when you've asked for the money and then you're obviously withholding it and you're making it uncomfortable for that person to bring up. That's yuck.
Yeah, you don't really have.
And yes, absolutely, it's about the principle. Totally agree with you. I think I'd break up with a friend over that too.
I agree though when she said it became about like they wouldn't bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I feel the same way, and like I'm fine to lend someone money, but I shouldn't be the one chasing
No.
it, right? You should be thinking about it all the time,
Absolutely.
like, oh, I need to pay this back. And if I haven't paid it back, I should be letting them know, like, hey, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the money.
Yep.
I'm still in a tight spot. I'm working on it. You're going to get it as soon as I can. Maybe give me a month, 2 months. Like they should be the one updating them. You shouldn't be the one chasing when you've already done the good deed. And I've been in a similar situation since, and it does feel really weird because it's like, well, you've taken me for a ride and now you don't care when you should be the one that cares. Because I always think to myself, if I borrowed money off someone, I wouldn't be able to do anything before paying that back.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be able to go out to dinner, buy myself something. Like there would be no personal enjoyment until I got rid of that debt to someone, because it's just this weird feeling, right?
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah,
I think I borrowed money off my sister once when I was like early, had moved out of, home and was renting and just budgeted really poorly and, was going out and I had to borrow a little tiny bit of money off
What
her
are we
to
talking?
make rent. It was like $50 or something, maybe 100 max, just to like she maybe gave me a little bit extra just to, tie me over or whatever. And it felt so yuck to even send that message and ask that I vowed that I would never, ever, ever be in that position again. And I haven't been since. And I paid it back as soon as I could, as soon as I got my next paycheck. And since then, I've never even been close to being in that position because I was like, I really need to sort myself out. This is so embarrassing. But it is. It's not something you're proud of. And how long did she say? A year?
She said it.
Over a year passed and I hadn't heard a thing. That's bad.
Yeah, but I just got like...
It's also disrespectful, I think, like from that person to, you've got a friend who's done you a solid and you're just totally disrespecting the fact that they've put themselves out for you,
13 years.
Yeah, after 13 years of
Imagine what
friendship.
you've been through together for 13
Yeah.
years
Oh.
for like you to want to... Like at this stage, when she said that they're now... Like we haven't spoken since and I haven't heard from her, you're probably not going to get it, right? Like that friendship's probably sacked off. But... the right thing to do is still give her back the money, right?
Absolutely.
And then if you want to sack off the friendship, do that still. But keeping the money is like, you're just a degenerate now. Like, that's pissed me off hearing about that. I haven't seen the money either. I'd be knocking on doors.
Not just one.
Or old school, go parents and go, hey, your daughter's a rat. She took money from me. Why are you laughing?
It's just funny.
Well, I'd want to get it back.
I know. You've done that before.
Yeah. And that's pissed me off. That's brought back the memory.
Guys, these stories, my heart breaks for you. But for the sake of the pod, thank you for
Yeah,
writing
always,
it. Because
always thank you.
They were very eye-opening and interesting.
And I just want to say something. When we get your stories, they're always anonymous, right? But I reckon 50 to 70% of when you guys write me, you always start it with like, please, please, please keep this anonymous. And I'm like, I'm never going to start the story by going, All right, guys, this is Stephanie Danger. She's from this area. She's 27. Like, don't worry. These stories are always confidential, secretive, and you'll never be outed. So unless
Danger?
both of, you and your friend listen to the pod and they go, wow, that sounds eerily familiar. Don't worry. No one will know it's you. Who's Stephanie? I just said a name.
I can't believe you made up a name and Danger is what came to mind.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
don't know.
What?
Well, I wanted to say Stephanie Danger, but, I just put a little spin on it.
What's wrong with
Don't worry about it, mate. We don't need to discuss the name I made up.
Oh, all right, let's get to our Ask Mum and Dad.
All right, guys, our Ask Mum and Dad this week is a bit of a delicate question, but one that we thought might impact a lot of people. So it says, I wanted to get your take on maintaining a friendship with an ex's sibling. My ex and I broke up over 6 years ago after a 5-year relationship that ended quite badly. I was very close with his sister at the time, but after the breakup, I stepped away because I thought it was too hard emotionally. We've loosely stayed in touch over the years and have recently talked about catching up in person. I've been with my now husband for 5 years and had mentioned her sporadically over the years, but never attempted to see her out of respect. When I brought up seeing her recently, he didn't take it well and doesn't understand why I'd want to reconnect with someone from that part of my past. I truly valued our friendship, and part of me has always hoped we could pick it up again. Is it wrong to want to catch up? Do you think it's disrespectful to my husband? I understand this discomfort and want to be considerate, but I'd love to hear your perspective.
It is delicate. Also, I want to clarify that at the start of the pod, I thought you said that she wanted to date the sibling, but this makes way more sense. So I retract my no at the very start.
Oh, okay.
I think it's totally fine, especially since you're married now. I think it's weird that your husband has a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
you would
what?
think
You're
that
not
it
gonna
would be
date her.
it would be okay for two adults. Yeah, as in you didn't date her and you don't have a romantic history
you're
with
just
her. You had a
friends.
friendship. Like if you met her randomly on the street, there's no
Yeah.
romantic connection. I understand perhaps it's seeming a bit weird to the husband because he might think that she's trying to rekindle things from the past. And
Would you think that though? If I said,
no,
"Hey,
no,
look,"
I wouldn't. I'm just saying I
what
can
I'm
understand perhaps someone, that might be a little bit insecure and, a bit up in the air about their relationship, and then having your partner go, I want to go hang out with my ex's sibling. Like that might ring, the first time you hear that, you might be like, oh, that's a bit weird. Like, I wonder why. Is she missing him? Does she want to, does she secretly want to bump into him? I can understand that.
but it's also a girl. I'm like, if you said, "Hey, I miss my ex's brother," I'd go, fair enough. Like, why don't you catch up?
Yeah.
What?
I wouldn't have a problem with it. And I don't think that your husband has anything to worry about. And what I did when this question came through is I actually thought about it down the lens of like my relationship with your mum, for example, right? And if we split up or, God forbid something happened, we got divorced, like I would still value having a relationship with your mum because I think that we've really built something. And I think it would be, if I got a new partner down the line, I can understand them thinking it was weird, but it not being weird for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if, let's say I dated someone down the line, I was like, oh yeah, I still hang out with my ex-wife's mum all the time. Like we really get along. I can understand that new partner might be like, oh, that's a bit weird. Like I'm not super cool with
I think
that,
it's
which
weird
is fine.
because
Everyone's
it's my mum, but if it was, but I think that's really, really sweet. But maybe if you said, yeah, I don't know. I get what you're saying in that maybe if you're an insecure person, you would kind of have a twinge of like, this feels weird, because perhaps you just, I don't know.
Perhaps because it doesn't
come
happen
from
often.
A place of
It's
mistrust all the
seen
time.
a little bit weird, Like I wouldn't say that would be a regular thing for people to stay friendly and in touch with. Like I dated people before you. I'm not friends with any of their siblings or family. Like it's not maybe a thing that happens so regularly. So when it does come up, like this is probably an anomaly, So
Sure.
it would be a weird thing for someone to hear because he's probably dated people in the past and gone, well, I don't want to be friends with their siblings or their parents. So like, I wonder why my wife does, So maybe just something that he doesn't fully understand. But I don't think you've done anything wrong by essentially keeping
No
that,
way.
as you said, that friendship at bay, and then also like coming to the point where you go, oh, like let's rekindle and let's catch up. Totally fine. I think that maybe you just have to, tell your husband that it's this thing that you want to do, and you want to, it's like the, itch that you want to scratch, and you want to see her and catch up, or maybe even invite your husband. That might be a way of getting past it. And so he knows that it's nothing about, the ex, or, getting information or asking questions.
But why does he need to babysit? Sorry.
He doesn't need to.
It
but
feels
I'm saying
like it though. You know what I mean? Like, what is he going to observe and see if you talk about what's he want to do? Come and see if you talk about the brother? Like, it's just weird.
No, I don't disagree, but it might be like,
I think you
it
just
might
need
be
to
nice
assure
to invite
him
him into that friendship anyway.
I think you kind of just need to be firm and say, look, there's nothing wrong here. Like, it's a chick who I got along with and want to catch up with. There's no connection there whatsoever. I'm not trying to reconnect with, I'm married to you. Like, you need to be okay with this. Sorry.
Nice.
You need to learn to be okay with it, basically. Sometimes you do. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Like, that person needs to, there's nothing wrong with that scenario.
Yeah,
you just
I don't
need
disagree.
to, for some reason, you're insecure about it, and that's your own issue to deal with.
All right, we'll leave it on that. Just with an iron fist, Jad has ruled.
Well, yeah, I think all you need to do really is be firm. It's obviously a bit of a delicate situation, so approach it with empathy, but definitely firmness. Firmness, I think, is the way to go, and be honest.
I agree. You got a couple of people here in this room nodding their heads and agreeing with you. So, yeah, take that and add to your confidence when you have this conversation.
Yeah.
So, all the best, and with the conversation with your partner, and then the relationship with the ex's sibling.
Good luck.
Guys, that's all we have for you this week on Mad About You. If you are enjoying the episodes, we do appreciate a little review or a comment on the episode. And if you did want any help from us with an Ask Mum and Dad, you can either DM me or write into us at madaboutyou@novapodcast.com.au. We appreciate having you every single week, and we look forward to next week already.
See you soon.
Bye.